Hey, it's your boy Easy, and on today's episode of Easy Opens, we're going to be taking a look at the Super 7 Robotic Rocksteady. Rawr. Is that what robot rhinoceroses sound like? I don't know. You let me know. Because I don't know. He looks like he'd say rawr. Probably be like, rawr. It's probably a sound file. Do robots have voice boxes? I had a lot of questions. Alright, so here is Robotic Rocksteady. So if you didn't know, Super 7 with their TMNT line is essentially them taking a lot of the Playmates figures that were released back in the 90s and reinterpreting them and like making them like more modern or just updating them, if you will. And Robotic Rocksteady is no different. This figure is a reinterpretation of the Playmates figure that was released under the same name in 1993. This and the original figure were loosely based, or, at least inspired by Rocksteady's robot form, known as Mighty Rocksteady, that first appeared on October 31st, 1989, in the 1987 animated series of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Season 3, Episode 27, entitled Super Bebop and Mighty Rocksteady. However, that character and this character look drastically different, except for the fact that they're based on Rocksteady and they're robots. There's that. But let's get this figure free from its plastic prison and see what we think about Robotic Rocksteady. Oh my goodness, this thing is tall. Jeez, I was not expecting... I knew it was going to be big, but I was not thinking it was going to be this big. And yeah, I am very happy with it being this big, to be honest with you. I'm a little taken aback, but it's still nice. It's still what I wanted it to be. I love the shininess of it. Like, it's not like vac metal. It's not whatever the other thing is called. There's vac metal and there's... I can't think of what the other one's called, but it just looks like a shiny kind of silver paint, but it works with this figure. It really does make it look like a robot, or a machine at least, and definitely makes it pop, especially juxtaposed with the flat black parts that are showing, like on the hands and the biceps and the chest and the legs and the knees and stuff like that, or well, the backs of the knees, I guess. Yeah, that juxtaposition of those two colors and finishes really make this figure pop and look like a robot. He's super big and chunky, and I always love that about action figures. And the problem though that you can get into with that is that at some point they start to teeter on like more of a toy as opposed to an action figure, or like, less of a adult collectible and more of a just an average toy, and that's kind of what you can get into. But thankfully Super 7 did a great job here and rides that line pretty nicely to where you get the best of both worlds, and in my opinion at least. I mean, it's still got enough details to set it apart, especially the more time you spend with it. You see the more different things on it and everything. But yeah, no, I still think Super 7 did a great job riding that line of making it big, but big enough to still be a adult toy collectible, but not be just a toy, if that makes any sense. And the translucent brain and eyes are always a treat. So yeah, that's just excellent. And it's super fun. I just did it. It's super fun to put it up to the light and see the light shine through the eyes, like with the piping or whatever they call it. And yeah, no, that's just fantastic. Robotic Rocksteady comes with 6 interchangeable hands, 2 translucent blast effects that go into the shoulder guns, I think. And I think you can put it on one of the other guns. And then also a like laser fire knife looking thing that's also translucent. So there's that. They also come with a chainsaw sword looking thing, as well as a arm gun that, like I said, you can put the aforementioned translucent blast effects in there, as well as the fire sword thing that he's got. And then he also comes with a translucent purple shield, energy shield kind of thing. So now let's talk about the articulation you're going to get out of Robotic Rocksteady. Starting at the head, once you take the guns out, which when they're in, they can spin around a little bit. But once you take them out, he's got 360 at the neck, and that's really cool. He can look up, just not really much at all, and he can look down a little bit, but not really anything worth mentioning. He does not have a jaw hinge, which is really disappointing, but I guess robots really don't need to move their mouths to speak, so I guess it's not really needed, but it would have been cool. At the shoulders, he's got 360 at the shoulder, and it can go out that far. It looks like he would have 360 at the bicep right here, but it is not. He does have some in the elbow, and it's got a little bit of hinge right there, and it's been wanting to pop out on me, so there's also that, so be mindful of that. And then the wrist also has, back and forth, front to back, all the way around, 360 rotation, and that's really cool. And I'm gonna throw that over there because it keeps falling out. But nevertheless, moving on, he does have what would be 360 at the waist. However, this part right here is hindering it from going any further than what you're seeing on screen. And yeah, so there's that. He can get some good stretch poses if you needed that for whatever reason. Got some good range right there, and he can he's got a little bit of, not too much movement in the thigh, leg, joint area, crotch area, whatever. But you got some wiggle room there if you need it. And then he's got a ball joint kind of thing here at the knee, which is cool. Gives you some back and forth, side to side, in and out, up and down, directional things. But it's not double jointed, which again, it looks like it would be, but it's not. And then he's got a toe joint, which can rock a little bit, but not really enough to be what I would consider an ankle rocker. It's really just a joint that goes front to back. And so yeah, that's all the articulation you're gonna get out of Robotic Rocksteady. So oddly enough, with all of the Rocksteady and Bebop figures, like, I've had a hard time finding their actual size and weight for this section of the review. So the best I could come up with for a comparison would be that Mighty Rocksteady, the NECA 87 animated series robot version that this is based on, loosely, stands around 6.5 inches tall and weighs around 9 ounces. This figure of Robotic Rocksteady stands at around 8 inches tall and weighs around 13 ounces. All right, now let's take a look and see how they compare to some other figures you might have in your collection. Here they are with Rhino from Marvel Select. Here they are with Rocksteady from Playmates TMNT Classics. Here they are with Donatello from Playmates TMNT Classics. Here they are with Raphael from the TMNT Batman figures. Here they are with Leo from Playmates 2012 TMNT line. Here they are with Metalhead and Donatello from Super7's TMNT Ultimates. Here they are with the knockoff NECA Mirage colored bandana Raphael and Leonardo from NECA's Return to New York 4-pack. Here they are with Ash and Kamen Rider Evil from SH Figuarts. Here they are with Japanese Spider-Man and Thing from Marvel Legends. Here they are with Shao Kahn from McFarlane Toys and Manny Faces from Mattel's Masterverse. Here they are with Rex 1 from NECA. And here they are with Mancake from Hasbro and Fei Long from Jada Toys. So I'm a big fan of Rocksteady and Bebop, just in general. I think they're awesome when they're handled well, and most iterations are. They just inherently are cool and they do really cool stuff, with the exception of the animated series from 1987 for the most part, because there's a handful of episodes where Shredder and Krang aren't telling them what to do. They're just doing stuff, or they just go out on their own and break their own, they don't listen to Shredder and Krang. Those are some of the best episodes, not only of the series, but for Bebop and Rocksteady, and they do really cool stuff when they're just doing their own thing. Not to mention the Adventure series is fantastic with them, and the IDW series is excellent with them in it. And so, big fan of these characters. I'm also a big fan of taking things that I already love and making them a robot. And that's what Super7's done here with their version of Robotic Rocksteady. So I keep getting surprised by how big this figure is. I mean, it's one of the reasons I got him, absolutely, because I cherry pick with Super7, but still, it's just nice and chunky the way that I like my robotic rhinoceroses to always be. He's just big enough, like I mentioned before, to not be too big so he fits in with other figures in a 6-inch line just very well, but also not so big that he doesn't really fit in and he feels like a toy as opposed to an action figure. At least, in my opinion. Super7 did a great job paying homage to the original figure and making it better in almost every way. The paint job and detail in the sculpt really catches your eye and pops on the shelf. The articulation is pretty good for a figure this size, but the belt piece hindering the 360 rotation at the waist feels like it could have been an easy fix. But then again, how often will I have him doing a 360 rotation? Like I don't know. Maybe that's pointless. But I don't know. I still just like having that option available, I guess. But whatever. His accessories are neat, but I feel like they're on the bigger side of things and teeters on this thing, like I said, being a toy instead of an adult collectible. Again, if that makes any sense. Something about it. It's weird. The bigger it is, the cheaper it feels, I guess. I don't know. Something about that. Also, I had some issues with the accessories fitting into their slots, and it felt like I had to force them in, which felt wrong for some reason. And I don't know, maybe I was doing it wrong or something just was weird about that. And then, like with a lot of my action figure wants, I always want an articulated jaw or an alternate head. And unfortunately, neither are present here with this figure. Like, I don't know why a robot would need an articulating jaw, but, I've seen some of them with them, and I don't think they're worse off for it. So I don't know. It feels like it could have been done easily, but what do I know? I don't make toys. I just talk about them on the internet. So having said all that, though, I really, really, really enjoyed this figure. It's fun to play with and just to look at. So if you're a fan of robots, I think you'll really like this. If you're a fan of rhinos, I think you'll probably like this. If you're a fan of Rocksteady, then you're definitely going to love this. Or if you're a fan of robotic anthropomorphic creatures, then you should definitely add this figure to your robotic anthropomorphic creatures zoo shelf. There we go. That was a mouthful. All right, well, that's going to do it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button. If you want to see more from me, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments. Did I get anything loud and wrong? Do you like this version of Rocksteady? Which one do you prefer, this version or the mighty Rocksteady figure character? Let me know in the comments. And until then, else time.